and it's called Cannabis, and yes, it will be legal right here in Canada tomorrow. You know, it's going to cause some issues in the workplace, perhaps, but to help us out with all that, right now we say hello to Karen Brownrigg, founder of IHR Advisory Services. Hello, Karen.
Hi, Dylan.
Wonderful to have you here. This is probably going to be a busy topic for you right now.
It really is. Really is.
We've had you on the show before, but IHR Advisory Services, what are you all about?
Well, businesses outsource all or portions of their HR to us, and we have experts across Canada.
Okay, right across Canada.
Right across Canada.
So you're taking care of this because this is happening right across Canada.
It is.
Cannabis. Okay, so it means a lot, obviously. This in the workplace, this legal item. So what's the number one thing that employers need to know about this?
Well, I think what's really important is that they need to realize it's not a one-size-fits-all policy. And depending on whether or not your organization is a safety-based organization, either because all of the work that's performed really can impact your employees or the general public, or because certain jobs within your organization are safety-based jobs. And also, they need to realize that there is an obligation to accommodate medical disability, obviously, and the use of cannabis for medicinal purposes is a complex area to navigate. There are two parts of cannabis. One of them is THC, it causes impairment, and the other is CBD, which doesn't cause impairment. And both can be prescribed. So it's important that the leadership team understands the difference between the two.
Okay, which is probably going to be difficult to explain.
Absolutely.
Because I'm having trouble understanding it myself. I mean, you know, is it good to do it before work? Is it bad? I'm guessing it's probably bad.
It's definitely bad to be doing it before work if it's going to be impairing your ability to perform your duties. So again, if you're using cannabis for medicinal purposes and it's CBD cannabis, then you're actually not going to be impaired. So it's not an issue at all.
Different story.
Yeah.
So what about employees' rights then? The average employee who thinks, well, you know, I can do this. It's legal now. Do they have rights?
They do. Drug testing is not legal in Canada. So an employer can only perform drug testing if there's been a safety incident or risk of a safety incident. And so, you know, random drug testing can't be happening. Also, employees have a right to be working in a workplace that's safe and free from hazards. So if there are other individuals who are using cannabis for recreational purposes and causing potential for risk of harm in the workplace, then they have a right not to be exposed to that.
What exactly does impaired mean then? I mean, I guess there's different levels of impairment, or is impaired impaired?
Impaired is impaired is impaired, really. And it's the same thing, you know, we'd be looking for similar symptoms that we would be looking for in someone who's impaired after they've consumed alcohol, or even if they've consumed other drugs that impact the central nervous system. So you're looking for similar signs. Really what's important is looking at whether or not the individual can perform their duties. So if there's something that's happening to them physically, mentally, emotionally, that's preventing them from performing their duties, then you have a right as an employer to engage in a conversation with that individual, and you have an obligation to ensure their safety. Okay.
Say you're your own boss. You're working at home. What's the impact there? I mean, that can't really be, I mean, it must be a free-for-all, really.
It shouldn't be. Working from home is an extension of the workplace, just like attending a work-related event is an extension of the workplace. If you're not fit for duty, then it's a problem.
Okay, so if you're working from home, but you're working from home because you're employed by somebody still.
Right.
But if you're your own boss, then it's
different. If you're your own boss, well, let's hope that you're not impacting anything for your clients.
Just throwing that out there, right? Yeah, of course. Okay, so definitely different interpretations of this to different people. I mean, what does it mean for Canada down the road? I mean, is this going to be an issue for a long time?
I think it's going to be a conversation for a long time. If you look at, you know, the different provinces, for instance, the legal age to be using recreational marijuana is 19 in Ontario. But other provinces are coming out with their interpretation of what that age of majority is, if you will. And there's a lot of research and development going on, and we're going to be seeing consumable products. What happens if people are bringing in, you know, brownies and banana bread to the workplace that have cannabis in them, and people are eating that, and then you're out at a work-related event and you're having a drink.
So quickly, can I ask you then, do people have to disclose that? Say it's a potluck, somebody brings in something and it's in it?
Absolutely, they should be.
Needs to be
It's a
disclosed.
risk to others if they're not disclosing that. And employers need to understand that their policies need to take into consideration the potential scenarios that might happen in their unique workplace.
And I'm sure you're available to help out different businesses.
Absolutely.
We're struggling with this.
That's our specialty.
More details, yes, ihradvisoryservices.ca/experts. Karen Brownrigg, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dylan.
Appreciate your time. Coming up, a speech language pathologist joining us on Daytime Ottawa.